on your team, you're always going to have 80% ducks and 20% eagles, and that never changes. So a lot of people get frustrated because they've got 10 people on their team and 8 of them are just complaining, dragging their feet, you know, not really doing much. And they get frustrated and they start to think that the business doesn't work. Well, once you know that 80% of people are always going to be like that, and 20%, you know, you've got 80% fat and 20% muscle, 80% ducks, 20% eagles. 20% of the people are going to do 80% of the work, and 80% of the people are going to do 20% of the work. It's always like that. And you know, it even works with government and with taxes and with sports teams. You'll see this 80-20 everywhere you go. You know, on a football team, there's maybe 60 players and like 11 starters. And so you've got, you know, typically, you know, you look at the government, you know, you've got 20% of the people paying 80% of the taxes. So it's always going to be like this. Once you understand that it's like that, you don't get so bummed out and depressed, because I remember actually going to my sponsor my very first year in 1996, and I told him I was thinking about quitting, and he said, wow, you're doing so great, you know, you already got in your first 10 people. And I'm like, yeah, but it feels like 8 of them are failing, and if I keep bringing people in and 80% of them are failing, I'm going to kind of feel like guilty about this. And he said, Cliff, look at it this way. 1 out of every 500,000 kids that plays Little League Baseball makes it to the pros. So should we cancel Little League Baseball? And I was like, no. He goes, don't a lot of kids have fun? Don't they learn something? Don't they learn some valuable life lessons, make friends? I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, and you've got to provide the opportunity. You know, only 3% of people that go to the gym actually obtain their fitness goals. So should we shut down all of the gyms? And I was like, wow, I never really thought of it that way. And so here's the truth, is that, you know, and I don't know what the exact percentage is. You know, I've heard 3%, I've heard 5%, 10%, you know, whatever it is. But the majority of people are going to quit and not make it. I mean, it's something like 95% of people that get their real estate license fail to ever even sell one house. Something like 95% of people that play the guitar quit. I mean, typically, you're going to have a smaller percentage of people that are successful, and you're going to have the bigger percentage of people that complain. And so whether it's 80-20 or 95-5, don't get caught up in semantics. The point is, the majority of people in life, it's not that they fail, it's that they quit. You know, they don't even fail because they quit before they could fail. Does that make sense? So don't be so bummed out. I mean, what we're doing is actually pretty incredible. I mean, I don't want to get like too guru-ish on you, but sometimes I almost kind of feel like we're doing God's work, because we're out there offering hope and a chance to people when most people just make fun of every opportunity and make fun of people that try things. And so we're out there trying to help people, and people are making fun of us, and people are saying that we're bad people, and people are saying that's a scam. And so I know this is, you know, kind of an intense example, but you think about, like, you know, Jesus out there, and he's trying to save people, and people are saying he's a bad person, and he had to carry on. And sometimes I feel kind of, you know, loosely that it's kind of like that. You know, it's like we're going out there and we're trying to help people financially, and people are not believing us, or they're making fun of us, or they're saying that you're a bad person. And so the problem is that most of you, if you hear enough of that, you start to believe it. And that happened to me too. And then my sponsor said, okay, 2 things. Number 1, we're providing an opportunity, and it's very noble what we're doing. And number 2, you need to listen to more personal development, because you're out there talking to people, and 80% of the people that you talk to are negative, and they're complaining, and they're saying this, and they're saying that. And if that's all you hear, eventually you're going to start to believe it. And so he got me reading, like, you know, books by Jim Rohn, and listening to audios by Les Brown, and going to Tony Robbins seminars. And it's crazy how, like, you know, people are broke in their pocket because they're broke up here. And if you want things to change, you have to change. And so once I started reading and listening to all this personal development, you know, Tony Robbins talks about the hour of power, which is you reading or listening to something positive for an hour a day. It could be the difference between you making it in this business and not making it. And if you don't make it, you're just going to end up becoming one of those cynical, negative people that are like, oh yeah, I tried that, it doesn't work. And you really sound stupid to anybody with any intelligence. It's kind of like you going to the gym and saying, oh, the gym doesn't work, it's a scam. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't be one of those people. Just understand, the larger group of people are going to fail, and the smaller group of people are going to make it. And a lot of people say, well, oh God, what are my chances for success in network marketing? You know, so few people make it. chances have nothing to do with it. Because when there's effort involved, skill, numbers, effort, okay, then chances, it's not like you're rolling the dice. Does that make sense? Anyone can make it. It's not a can or can't business, it's a will or won't business.